Hey, welcome to Pahlish Esmeralda. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you what I wore on my nails in April. So altogether I wore 20 polishes in April. 2 of those were pedicures and 15 of them were manicures. There was a skittle and a couple combos as well. So we're going to be taking a look at photos of all the polishes, all the manicures that I wore in April. I'm going to show you up close bottle shots and give you all my thoughts. And if you haven't seen one of my monthly mani videos before, we have it sorted out. We're gonna start by talking about polishes I wore as pedicures and then get into manicures. First the manicures that I liked okay, then the ones that I really didn't like, and then at the end the ones that I absolutely loved, and that category is really big this month. All right, so let's start with pedicures first. The first pedicure that I wore in April is Cracked Polish Bubblegum Yum Yum. This is a light pink curly. This one was on my spring rack. I was really excited to wear it because it looked beautiful on the swatch wheel, but it was a little bit of a boring pedicure. Like, I always feel obligated to wear a light pink pedicure in spring. Like, I really enjoy them, but I think I need a little bit more pop. This one was a little bit too mid-toned to pop as a pedicure for me, for my skin tone. And if it had just a little bit more white in it, I think I would have gotten that punch I was looking for. So it was a pretty color. It had a good formula. I like the squishiness of it, but I didn't wear it that long as a pedicure, maybe just for a week because it just wasn't vibing with me. So I'm kind of on the fence if I want to keep this or not. I should try it as a manicure and see if I like it, but I'm like, if I didn't love it as a pedicure, am I going to love it as a manicure? I just don't know. And then the other pedicure that I wore in April that I just took off yesterday is Morgan Taylor Got Carried Away. This one is an almost neon pinky purple cream shade. So I wore this as a manicure last year. Loved it. It was one of my favorite polishes of 2024. And I was kind of like having a hard time deciding what to wear as a pedicure in April, and I was like, hello, I want something bright. I was about to go to the beach. I wanted something bright and fun, but still kind of springy. Y'all, this was perfect. If you do not have this polish, if you don't feel like you have anything like it, grab it. It's not that expensive. It is so beautiful. It's like really punchy and fun and intense, and it was just so pretty. It wore pretty well on me too. I had a little bit of chipping in after about 3 weeks of wear. So I changed it out, but I would put it back on. I really enjoyed this. Now on to manicures that I just liked okay. This next one, it comes from Morgan Taylor. This was part of this year's spring collection and it's called I'm All Cheers. This one is an orangey kind of coral cream shade. So this was the other shade in this year's spring release that really got my attention. There was a beautiful like green leaning yellow that I wore back in March that had a rough formula but was really pretty. This one had a great formula. It was really easy to work with, almost fully opaque in 1 coat, definitely opaque in 2 coats, but I felt like it was kind of not super exciting. I'm not a big orange polish wearer in general, and I'm not a big coral person. So I think this just wasn't the shade for me. It was like nice, but there was nothing like super wow about it. I would say though, if you're a big coral person or an orangey coral person, like you might want to look into this because the formula was really good. It was smooth and even and easy to apply, and it was nice for a quick manicure. I liked it. I might give it to my mom if she is interested because she really likes these kinds of shades. They look a little better on her than they do on me, but it's a good one. You can definitely still purchase this one. It was not limited edition. So I will link it down in the description box as well as any of the shades that I share with you in today's video that are currently available. And then some of y'all are about to get really mad at me. And I'm sorry. For my next kind of just okay shade, it is Mooncat Merkitten. Merkitten has a purpley pink kind of jelly base with blue shimmer and fine holographic particles. Okay, I can feel it. I can feel you kind of like seething at me through the screen. I don't appreciate it. I know this is some of y'all's favorite, your favorite pink, and I'm so sorry I didn't love it. I just can't help but compare. I have so many pink bases with blue shimmers, and honestly, I was expecting a lot from this because it is a cult classic. Like, it comes up on my feed once a week. Like I see it on Instagram all the time. But I just compare it to the other pinks that I have and I like them more. Like I really like a poppin' pink base, and this one's a little bit more muted. It's a little bit more purple leaning, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just like the brighter pink base against my skin tone. That's just my preference. I like bright colors. The formula of this was really good. It was fully opaque in 3 coats. It was easy to work with. A little bit sheer, but not bad. Like on the buildable side is what I mean. And the hollow in here was nice. I just felt like this one's, it's a little bit overrated. Like, and I hate to say that because I have not found very many shades from Mooncat that I've loved. I really loved Curiosity's Prey. I really loved Full Scream Ahead, but I think at one point I had about 10 Mooncats and I've destashed all of them. I've worn them and not liked them, so that makes me sad. And this one will be destashed because I can't imagine a world where I would reach for this over Barbie on the Boardwalk, where I would reach of this instead of KB Shimmer Aim to Breeze. You know what I mean? Like I just have too many beautiful pinks with blue shimmer to keep this one. All right, and we're moving on to polishes that I did not like. The first one comes from the brand Pahlish and it's called Esmeralda. Esmeralda has a soft lavender base with shimmer that shifts gold to green to blue. I've had this for years. I hadn't worn it. I told myself, Rachel, you gotta wear it. Wear it or destash it because we're not just keeping untrieds forever. So I finally got it on my nails. I'm glad I did because I will be getting rid of it. I don't like these lavender bases on me. These really soft, light lavender bases just aren't super pretty on me. They're not awful. But they just don't do anything for my skin tone. They wash me out a little bit and I keep buying them because I love this color. Like I'd love to see a room decorated in like a gorgeous lavender color, but that doesn't mean I need to wear it. It doesn't look good on me. It felt very neutral on the nails too. It didn't quite feel purple. It kind of felt like a pink. And I'm a little bit falling out of love with copper and gold shimmer, so there were quite a few reasons why this was not my favorite. I am not sad to see it go. The next one I did not enjoy wearing was Rogue Lacquer Hatched. This one has a muted turquoise base, like a robin eggs blue base, and it's filled with copper flakes. So this one, I hesitate to put it in this category because I didn't hate it. It was fine. It was one of those manicures like that was very forgettable for me. And I think it's the base color. So in the bottle, the polish is beautiful. It totally looks like its inspiration, which is a robin egg, and like couldn't get any more perfect for spring. I love that inspo. I love like the look of this in the bottle, but I'm just realizing when it comes to these kind of turquoisey shades, I want something like that's gonna pop on me. Like I want something brighter and more fun. And this one was just a little meh. Beautiful formula. I think it was fully opaque in just a couple coats. The copper flakes are so pretty, but I didn't love it. And actually when I had this on my nails, my mom told me she loved it. And I was like, really? Because I don't. I will be gifting it to her. And then the final manicure from April that I did not like is a combo. As a base, I wore Zoya Walker. And that one is a cool blue cream. And then I topped it with Fancy Gloss Ethiopian Opal. That one is a topper with so many incredible iridescent flakies. Okay. I need to play around with this topper. I know I'm gonna love it. I've seen so many swatches of it, and every time I like rush to the description box to find out what is that polish, like I need to buy it immediately. And then I get so relieved when I realize it's Ethiopian Opal and I already have it. But this was my first time wearing it and I was not crazy about it over this blue. In bright lighting, it looked great. Like you got kind of like an oceanic iridescent-y look. Like when I took it out into the sunshine, it was so beautiful and sparkly. But most of the time I was inside, and with that indirect lighting, you just got a lot of flakes and it was almost too much for that blue base. So I'm gonna have to play around with this and see what I will like it over. Maybe something a little bit lighter, or maybe a little bit more jewel toned. I don't know. But I'm keeping both of these. I just didn't like them together. And now on to manicures that I absolutely loved. I'm so excited because I think a lot of what I'm sharing with you are gonna end up in like favorites for 2025. There were a lot of really, really good ones. The first one is from Bluebird Lacquer and it is Cluck My Life. Cluck My Life has a light pink base. It has shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green, and it's filled with shattered holographic pigment. Oh, I'm so glad I wore this. It was beautiful. It kind of felt a little bit neutrally, but it just has so much going on with that hollow packed in there and the shifting shimmer that it didn't feel like a boring neutral. Like, it felt amped up, it felt colorful and lively, and I loved it. I need more shattered hollows from Bluebird Lacquer. I feel like she hasn't been releasing quite as many. She could just exclusively release this formula. She does so many formulas well, so many finishes well, but her shattered hollows are my favorite. And I want more. I want more. Just slight variations on each color. They're just perfection. This one was fully opaque in 2 coats. The shifts in the shimmer were incredible. The hollow was stunning in the sun. It was wonderful. And because this one felt so neutral, I feel like it's a color you could wear any time of year. Next up, we have another classic. This is ILNP Fairy Dust. Fairy Dust is a kind of grapey purple base with really like flashy, almost metallic-y shimmer that shifts copper to gold to green, and ILNP's incredible holographic particles. So I was a little bit worried about this one. I didn't want another Merkitten situation. And I thought, you know, am I gonna like it? Because this kind of purple base is the exact kind of purple base I do not usually like. And it's got that copper to gold shift, and I've not been crazy about that lately either. But man, this polish is undeniable. It's so beautiful. The base is really soft and effortless. The shimmer is flashy, but you still get to enjoy the base. Like, it's not so flashy that it overwhelms and overtakes the base of the polish. Like, you still get to see that purple. And then the hollow that ILNP uses is chef's kiss amazing. I will say, I think I would have enjoyed it more. I loved it, but I think I would have loved it like enough for it to be a favorite of the year if I would have put it over like a purple base of some kind. I just think having it fully opaque, because it wasn't in 3 coats, I still got some visible nail line. I think having it fully opaque would have made me like not able to stop thinking about it. It wasn't quite to that point, but this is beautiful. And I imagine if you are a purple lover, you would adore this. We're just gonna continue with the super iconic polishes. Up next is Pahlish Esmeralda's Lush. This one is an almost pink leaning purple base with intense shimmer that shifts green to blue. This is another one I was prepared to be super sad about not loving. I knew it was on the sheer side. That's not always my cup of tea. It does have a purple base, and sometimes Pahlish Esmeralda's shimmers are just like so intense that they're a lot for me. Sometimes I like a little bit more of a subtle shimmer because her shimmers sometimes can be so strong that they conceal the base color. But anyway, none of those things were a problem. I adored this. That is why it's in this category. The base color. It was so beautiful. Like, it was the perfect purple. Just a little bit of pink in there to warm it up, to make it feel refreshing and springy. And then the shimmer. Maybe I just need to stick with Pahlish Esmeralda's green to blue shimmers because I can't get enough of that shift right now, and it just felt so glowy and sparkly. This is another one I am very eager to play around with as a topper because I've seen lots of videos of it layered over a pretty shade of pink or a beautiful light blue cream, and it just transforms. So like, part of me is like, man, I wish this spring I would have done like a pastel Skittle, like a cream Skittle, and then topped this over everything. Would have been fire. But there's always, you know, there's always next spring. As a standalone polish, this is knockout, beautiful. I definitely recommend it. Up next is one from Lurid Lacquer, and it is Top Bunk, Middle Bunk, Trundle Bed. This one's a really unique and interesting shade. It's got a more muted mid-toned blue base, like warmer mid-toned blue base, and then it has this intense like sky blue shimmer. So I usually stray away from this kind of blue. This is not my kind of blue, but the swatch photos got me on this one. Polished Mage review of this polish got me. I had to have it. And the moment it came in the mail, I have not been able to stop thinking about it. Like all winter, it was sitting on my spring rack, and I just like was pining after it. I can't wait till spring. I want to wear that. And I finally did. I wanted to save it for May because this to me feels like a great like spring to summer transitional shade. It's a little bright for spring, but I just couldn't wait any longer. And it was a really fun polish. It still felt like a little like un-Rachel-y. Like it's just not a shade I really wear, but something about it just feels so unique to what I've seen before. I don't know if it's the base, how there's just a little bit of like green lean to it, and then the intensity of the blue shimmer. I don't feel like my photos accurately capture just how glowy and intense this is, but it was incredible. It was so beautiful. I am falling in love with this brand. They are very quickly becoming a brand that I just can't get enough of. Up next, we have a tried and true Cuticula Bloom. This one has a light blue crelly base, and then it has an assortment of glitters in white and purple, as well as rose gold micro glitters. And it has rose gold and purple metallic flakes. So this is a polish I have a backup of, and I am making a concerted effort to wear polishes that I have backups of once a year until I'm down to just one of that bottle. Because it's hard for me to justify having a backup of anything when you have as many polishes as I do. I need to be wearing these. So Bloom wasn't on my spring rack. I just grabbed it because I had a backup, and I'm glad I did, because it's been a few years since I put this on and my feelings haven't changed about it at all. It is the perfect spring polish. Like the base color has just enough pop to it, just enough white to it. The formula is incredible, and the mix of glitters in here, the purple and the white and the pink, is just so fun. I think it's inspired by like cherry blossoms against the sky, and I completely see that in this polish. I love Cuticula's crellies. We'll be seeing another one here in a minute, but they are ridiculous. They are so unique every single time. Like she just has the most fun glitter mixes, and they're still really easy to apply. They never get super thick. They're just wonderful. Next up is a combo. As a base, I wore Color Club. It's all in the Attitude. This one is a bleach neon key lime green. And then I topped it with Lurid Lacquer Joie de Vivre. This one has a clear base, and it has bright green reflective glitters, as well as some fiery iridescent flakes. Match made in heaven. This one might be one of my favorite manicures of the year. It was so good. I think I just did one coat of the Color Club. It was fully opaque in one coat and super even. I love that. And then I did 2 coats of the Lurid Lacquer. Stunning. I'm sure the Lurid Lacquer is beautiful on its own, but I do know you have visible nail line with it in 3 coats, and I just thought I'd love it so much more paired with some kind of base, and I could not get enough of it. Because in the sunlight and bright lighting, those reflective glitters are so twinkly, and in lower lighting, you get that flash of like red and copper from those iridescent flakes, and it is just the most beautiful combination. I ended up wearing this for 3 days. I could have worn it for a lot more because it actually wore super well. Like in 3 days time, not a single chip, no tip wear. It looked awesome. Wow. If you have Joie de Vivre, try it over like a light green base. It's amazing. Next up, we have a Skittle that I wore in April. This was my Easter Skittle. I kind of like put it together spur of the moment. And it included 3 polishes. One was Cuticula Garden Party. This one is a white crelly. It's got a white base. It's got some circle glitters that are like seafoam green, pink matte hex glitters, purple micro glitters that are metallic, and then white hex glitters and white micro glitters. The purple cream is China Glaze Tarty for the Party, which is a lavender purple cream. And then the turquoise is China Glaze Too Yacht to Handle, which is almost like a neon turquoise cream. This was such a fun combo. The Cuticula Garden Party was on my spring rack. I've been itching to wear that one. Like I said, Cuticula's glitter crellies are fabulous. I feel like she doesn't do them as much anymore because people don't really make a lot of glitter crellies right now. The shimmers are like having their moment, and I miss a glitter Crowley. But she does them so well. If you ever come across them, you should snatch them because the formula is amazing. This one was so beautiful. I love the mix of glitters in here. It's just really spontaneous, the different colors, and I love the white on white with the white glitters in the white base. It felt very springy to me. And so what I do with these white Crowleys when I try to create a Skittle is I look at what colored glitters are in there and try to find some cream shades or shimmer shades or whatever that have that base color in them. So I really liked the turquoise glitter, the big circle glitters in here. I thought those were really like cute and whimsical. And so I fished around in my mainstream drawer until I found a couple colors that matched, and Too Yacht to Handle and Tarty for the Party were perfect. Tarty for the Party, I want to say I've worn as a full manicure, and I knew it had a great formula. It's almost a one coater. And then Too Yacht to Handle I'd never worn, and I am like beating myself up about it because this color, it's so pretty. I might end up adding it to my summer rack. It's bright, it's fun. I loved it. And I love the color scheme of this. I love how they worked together. It was absolutely fabulous. It was such a fun mani. Okay, and then at the end of April, I went on vacation, and on my way to vacation, I wore Wildflower Lacquer Buenos Amigos. This is another one I have a backup of, so I had to wear it at least once this year. Buenos Amigos has a bright green leaning turquoise base with shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green. It has like a purple shift to it as well. And then it has holographic microflakes. This is my comfort polish. I love this polish. I can always count on this polish to hit the spot. I have like a pretty good fill line. It's almost halfway gone, my bottle of Buenos Amigos, which you would think it would make me sad, but it just makes me feel really proud. I actually have Good Friends, the dupe that was released last year, and I have a backup of the original Buenos Amigos, and I have the Oops batch, Buenos Accidentes. Yeah, I love this polish. So was very happy with it on my nails. The base color is stunning. The shifts in the shimmer never let me down. The hollow is beautiful. It just makes me smile. I love this polish. Favorite polish of my collection, I have to say. It wears so well on me. I wore this for 3 days with no tip wear, no chips. And then on the third day, I got some chips, which usually that's not the case with Wildflower. But I was pretty rough on my hands. Like traveling, packing, unpacking, carting around a toddler, like they were going through it. My nails were going through it. And then the last manicure that I wore in April, still while at the beach, was Cirque Colors Day Tripper. This one is a neon kind of corally orange base with a gold shimmer and really fine holographic pigment. This is one that wasn't on my spring or summer rack. I just couldn't get it off my mind, and it was so satisfying to have on my nails. The base color of this pops. It is bright, and in the beachy sunshine, it was wonderful. Like, I loved having this on. It was fully opaque in 2 coats. It had an amazing formula, and I don't know, I'm really loving like these neon-y, orangey, peachy kind of colors this year. They're so flattering. So that's everything that I wore in April. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Again, if any of these are still available, I will link them down in the description box. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!